We were introduced to classical music, Western music, by the television, national television. At the time they had a program called Tudo em Clássico, which means all in classic. And there they would perform Mozart and many other, but especially Mozart was famous, and Vivaldi and all that. And when they would play opera, we would laugh, you know, everyone would just laugh. What's funny, I remember now, we would laugh, even my father who passed away, it was just funny for us. So, for later on, studying this music for me was a big challenge. I spent 11 years hearing from my friend, "What are you doing, man? This doesn't fit you." So I learned and I found the meaning of it. So it was not just that funny part of it, that is the hard part of it, you know. It's beautiful music. For me, it's like the music from heaven. So I think I found that we say in Mozambique, "Mtsutsu," the taste. And I said, no, I want to learn this. I want to learn this. It might, one day it's going to help me, you know, on my own music. I was still like a young boy looking for, you know, challenging, running in that big city, Maputo. There was a contest in the television program, they call it Sabadão, and I was passing through when I saw it, and you know, with a friend we went in and I inscribed myself, and I ended up being one of the selected for the final. And people were singing by then my songs in the street, and if they would see me walking, they would scream the name of the song. So it felt like going to professional life. It came into the church that I got scholarship to go to Portugal for 3 years. And I went to a classical music school. I didn't know nothing about, and I started learning classical guitar, classical singing, solfege, and many other things. A few years after, I realized that was definitely I needed to go on and understand a little bit more. So I started university 2 years after I moved to Holland, looking for expanding my studies somehow, not only classical music, but looking for where I could develop my music and start experimenting jazz and pop, Indian music. I started to buy and to listen to jazz music when I arrived in Portugal, because I got more chance to go to library and buy, or shops to buy CDs, which didn't happen in Mozambique. And I started realizing that there was something I was missing, because I was studying only classical music. So I went on together, classical music, jazz, and my music. And those people like Miles Davis, Elvin Jones, all those big crowds that we all know, they impressed me a lot. I was surprised when I came to Holland, when I saw that jazz was a culture here, and I realized that in Europe also jazz music is a quite strong thing. I felt that it was time to get the brothers and sisters together for bringing those sounds that we went on building together. And we met 2004 in Johannesburg when we started recording the first tracks of what we have now recorded basically in the CD New Dawn. I got surprisingly immediately the answer of what feels like this kind of song, what feels like that kind of song. Maybe because we speak the same language, and mainly because we're brothers and we grew up together. Like I said, we played football together and many other things. So music also is something like that. We know the tricks, how to go here and there and there. So this was a wonderful surprise for me, and until today I felt like, wow, this is just not only unique, but it's glorious. I felt like my father and my mother gave to us a gift. So I thought, wow, let's bring it together and let's present it. So they stopped basically doing their own projects, like my sisters with the choirs in Mozambique and my brothers in South Africa with other artists. They came and joined this project which we call now Neco Novellas. So you hear some Brazilian rhythms, Latin and many others, which I end up saying, are they Mozambican or are they our rhythms? If I can do it, then it's just mine. But surprised when Lilian Vieira comes in and sings with her Brazilian background and it just sounding well. Then I realized it's definitely universal, you know.
Eu vou levantar minha voz e te mostrar o que faz a força do meu som. Que não tem dor, que tem saudade mas não chora. Ai que saudade de um menino tu matou, que sonha de menino. Ai que saudade de menino tu matou, que sonha com a menina. Sonha quando viaja na quando que eu quando viaja não sou. Quando viaja. Sonha quando viaja na quando que eu quando viaja não sou. Quando viaja sim. Quando a manhã se descobre, quando o menino que nunca cresceu só quer ter pátio, até essa mata desse mato. Ai que saudades do menino tu matou, que sonha de menino. Ai que saudades de menino tu matou, que sonha com a menina.
The song is called Vermelha, and it has those chord progression that reminds any Brazilian music, especially the bossa nova, and later the rhythm which could also remind the samba. But it's somehow a rhythm from where I'm coming from. That could be to be like, no? And then I just pitch it more steady in. And if you push that. Becomes a little bit more Brazilian, but I think it's still the chords basically they bring this Brazilian touch, and later on the rhythm. And when Lilian came in, it was just a confirmation of Brazil and Mozambique together.